Some sours. I like sours. I had a really good sour at Yazoo in Nashville. They had 2 sours on tap that were fantastic.
A kettle sour probably, or dry hop, or long-term sour.
It was lost in an afternoon of beer tasting.
Okay.
I just remember that they had a sour and they were really good.
Well, I don't think this one's overly sour. So,
Okay. So what is it?
So it's a kettle soured beer that was fermented with, I guess, a fruity yeast that used to be called a Brett. So it's called a Brettanomyces bruxellensis Trois.
Of course.
That's quite the name.
And now we just call it Sac Trois, usually when we refer to it. So it was also kettle soured with the Omega lactose strain. So one of those popular lacto blends. And it didn't finish that low, like 3.5 pH. So that's more on the high end probably than a lot of sour beers. And then it was dry hopped with Galaxy, which is one of those super aromatic hops.
Oh yeah, I get that right off the.
The Galaxy,
So I think it smells kind of like really tropical fruit.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the acidity just reinforces that instead of making it a sour. Like you eat raspberries, those are sour. But people don't get all afraid of raspberries.
Mm-hmm. It's not too sour.
I don't think so. I guess depending on the time of day, maybe what you had before, it could taste sour. But I think it just kind of tastes like sour fruit, like fruit acidity.
Yeah.
Because the Galaxy is so fruity. It's one of those hops that I think this year is already sold out. So there won't be much for us homebrewers this year for Galaxy, unfortunately.
So speaking of homebrewing, you are the founder, president.
I'm one of the co-founders. I'm not the only founder of the club.
Okay.
GTA
Brews.
GTA Brews Homebrew Club in Toronto. We started with 5 people in my condo back in April 2013.
Okay.
And since then, I guess at the same time, we started our Facebook group, which seems to be what most people know us for, because we have 1,200 people on our Facebook group, but only about 230 something have become paid members, so they can attend our meetings that happen under special occasion permit. But we do a lot of things that aren't the Facebook group, but everyone seems to just be like, oh yeah, I just post this beer I got in the Facebook group, and a lot of people learn from it, but we'd like people to come to the meetings and watch the presentations. Like we have a couple presentations on our website that I probably spent a couple hours making, and it'd be really cool to see people kind of learn through those as well, instead of just posting the Facebook group.
Well, I've learned a lot through the group asking questions.
And the questions is definitely one of the most valuable aspects.
I do get a little tired of a picture of someone's beer telling me how clear it is.
Yeah.
but that's part of it. You ask a question and immediately people jump in with answers.
And there's usually multiple answers.
Yeah.
Depending on the time of day. Sometimes people are at work or asleep.
Yes.
But usually there's at least a couple of people answering, and usually they're all the same people, because there's certain people in the group who like to answer, and certain people who just prefer to watch. I think that most of the group seems to be in the watching stage, but I think that's okay.
Well, and I've posted recipe ideas and said, here's what I'm thinking of brewing, and here are the ingredients. What do you guys think? And people say, oh, well, of the 5 that I've brewed, I've used this and these hops and this yeast, and you might want to consider that, which is incredibly helpful to a home brewer.
And the homebrewing community in general, like Toronto especially, is so open and friendly that you can ask for a recipe, people give it to you. It's not like in some places where if you want a recipe, someone's like, no, I put a lot of effort into making this. It's mine now. So or some other communities, maybe like cooking or something, where you don't want to share your secret spice blend.
Keep that one
keep
item,
something
that
back.
one bit
Yeah.
back.
Homebrewers probably give too much information if they're trying to give a recipe to someone. Like today I gave you guys all of the water profile breakdown. I know you're probably not at that stage of doing the spreadsheet stuff yet, but like we learned yesterday, water is like one of the
most important things.
So I try to push that on people as soon as I can.
Well, and we went to the meeting last night at Reinhardt, which was incredibly helpful, because you can bring your home brew and you can just walk around and pour it into everybody's glass and get immediate feedback. Some of it good, some of it not good.
Yeah, homebrew club meetings are sometimes like when you share beer with your friends. No one wants to hurt your feelings.
Yeah.
So some people like it and they're like, oh, this is great, but then they don't give you anything specific. So that's why we try and do the structured tastings at the meetings, where we just have everyone gather, and it's explicitly meant for people to just share feedback while everyone's drinking the same beer and be
beer.
like, so that's where we can try and prompt people to give things. So you say, hey, what did you think? Give me a descriptor for this beer. And then they're like, oh, okay, now I have to think about it. I can't just drink it.
But on the other end, someone like myself can participate in that and not necessarily give feedback, but hear the words that are associated with certain flavors. And I don't know.
You don't have to be a judge to be able to give feedback. You just say, I taste this.
See, but I don't always know what that is, right? You know what I mean? It's like I taste something, but I don't know the right word to share with you and describe it well.
I guess
so if everyone's using the same word, then I can identify that and put them
there
together.
is a common language, but
Yeah.
you can always just say it how you perceive it.
I either like it or I don't.
And
that's kinda how it works
and that's
for me.
probably one of the best ways to learn the common language of beer judging. If you say how you perceive it, like, oh, well, I think I'm tasting the same thing as you, but I always call it this, and then you can kind of learn from that. Mm-hmm. And that's I guess that's also one of the best part of beer judging. We run a lot of competitions. I think about 4 a year.
So the next one coming up is Brew Slam.
And the next one coming up is Brew Slam. So last year we were 318 entries from all across Canada, and this year we're 2 weeks left until the deadline, and we're already over 400. So,
Wow.
So I think we're going to hit over 500 if we're lucky this year.
A couple of those are ours.
And mine too.
Which how we do.
And so, so we've entered the Brew Slam, not with the hope or thought of winning anything.
You never know.
No, but the feedback
it's
is good.
The feedback, and it's mostly being able to get the feedback from the judges and say, oh, well, yeah, that is one of our problems we need to fix.
I think judging is valuable because people are sitting at a table with just your beer in front of them in an environment that's focused on not like a pub. Like it's focused on like almost like an exam room instead of or like a classroom. So people are filling out score sheets like, okay, I have to put a word to this thing I'm thinking. I can't just say, oh, it's off.
But the easiest way to find you is through the Facebook group then?
Yeah, gtabrews.ca is our website. That has a direct link to the Facebook group because I have people emailing me all the time. How can I get involved? I'm like, well, if you want to be involved, the best way is to join the Facebook group.
So it's a great group. Check out GTA Brews.
Yeah, please do. And if you have any questions, feel free to PM me on Facebook, send me an email at gtabrews@gmail.com, or just go to gtabrews.ca.
Thanks for the beer.
Oh yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it.
This is a great summertime patio sipper.
I've been
really
enjoying it for the last
Yeah.
couple months. It's I'm looking forward to maybe entering it, but maybe not.
I'd drink it.
It's concerned there won't be any left.
This is one I did bottle off beforehand.
I'd pay for that.
Oh, thank you.
There you go. I'd pay for that. There's the
That's one of the highest praises you can get.